All right, everybody, we have Lexie Brown with us. I will get started with questions from Tukni Nguyen. Tukni, go ahead.
Hi, Lexie, good to see you again. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So what made you want to re-sign with this franchise and go through the whole rebuilding process right now?
I think everybody knew how much I loved playing here last season. I love the city of Los Angeles. We had our ups and downs last season, but I think for me personally, I grew a lot as a player, found my footing in this league and my confidence. And I don't know, I don't really see this so much as a rebuild. I think we're bringing in a lot of amazing pieces. The new coaching staff is a staff that I'm very familiar with. It was pretty much the whole staff that drafted me in 2018. So to be able to be a part of a new program and a new beginning, but still having a little bit of familiarity is very important to me.
Thanks.
We'll go next question to Sabrina Merchant. Sabrina, go ahead.
Hey, Lexie, congrats on the new contract. Just building off of that, what vision have you gotten from the new coaching staff about like style of play and what they expect out of you and the roster this year?
I think the expectations are super high. I see a team that's going to play really fast, a team that values outside shooting a lot, which is great for me, and a team that cares about each other and is going to have a lot of fun out there, be competitive on both sides of the ball. I'm really excited to be, on the defensive end with Jazz. I remember in training camp, she drove me insane in training camp, guarding me guarding her. So I'm still also really excited to learn from her, be reunited with her. We have that Duke connection as well. But again, I'm really excited about the outside shooting that we're having. Last year we struggled with that a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Just to piggyback on that, you mentioned outside shooting. Obviously, Steph Talbot is a big piece of that. Like, what do you know about her game and how it's going to fit with you?
Well, we actually played together in Minnesota, so I'm very familiar with her game. I think we played really well together. She's a big guard. She can play the four. She can guard the four. You guys saw how I played with Katie Lou. So having a shooter on both sides of me now is going to be amazing. I'm really excited. I'm really happy for her as well.
Thanks.
We'll go next question to John W. Davis. John, go ahead.
Lexie, congrats on your new contract. Kind of talk to me a little bit. I know that you can put on a GM hat yourself. Why don't you think this is a rebuild?
I don't think this is a rebuild because, you'd have to assume that we're not really aiming for a championship or success. So I think a championship is very doable with this group if we all buy in, work really hard in camp, and just have the same expectations and hold each other accountable. I don't really like the word rebuild. I think it's just, you're setting yourself up to have low expectations and not, achieve. But I think, if you guys want to call it a rebuild, that's fine. But, we have championship aspirations for sure this year.
Great. We'll go next question to Howard Megdal. Howard, go ahead.
Hey, Lexie, congrats on the deal. I'm hoping you could take us through where you were when you made the contract official, who was around you, and just what's going through your head. It's been such a convoluted path to this day.
Like I said earlier, it was really LA or nothing. So in my head, I made the decision when the season ended last year that I was coming back to LA. But I had a conversation with KB and Kurt maybe 2 weeks ago on Zoom with my agent. And we just had a great conversation about just the future and how much they've watched me grown over the last few seasons. And after that conversation, we both unofficially agreed that this was my home and this was my family. But officially signing the contract, I was in my bed last night by myself here in LA, and I could not call my parents because it was too late. So, I kind of just had that really exciting moment to myself, shed a little tear, because it was just like, finally, I got this contract that I've been, working so hard for and dreaming about. And then I called my parents this morning.
Thanks, Lexie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lexie. We'll go next question to Jackie Ray. Jackie Ray, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Lexie. Congratulations. You looking beautiful. I don't want to sleep on that. You look fly. I just want to talk now that you are in this very familiar situation. Like you said, this is pretty much the crew that drafted you. Do you feel like this is going to level up your leadership role a little bit? And how are you going to, one of the narratives that we had constantly last year was chemistry. How are you going to help bring some of that chemistry together?
Yeah, I'm really excited to step into a leadership role. This is season 6 for me, which I can't believe, but I think that's part of my game that I haven't really even been able to tap into in the WNBA yet, is just being a vocal leader on the court and in practice during games on the bench. I'm just really excited. Just being familiar, I think it's an underrated thing that people don't always understand how important it is to be comfortable in your environment and having a coaching staff and teammates that believe in you. I think that I had a lot of that. I did have a lot of that last season, which, contributed to how I was able to perform last year. But, to have it like in writing that a team is locked in with me means the world. And I'm really excited.
We'll go next question to Mark Schindler. Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Lexie, again, congrats on the deal. Well deserved. When I talked to Kurt, he mentioned that he felt your growth and maturity is something that has really been present over the last couple of years, and just your mind frame as well. And as you mentioned, 6 years feels like forever. When you look back at where you were at in Connecticut on a pretty loaded roster, not quite getting, much playing time. When you look at where you were then compared to now, how do you think you've changed the most?
Yeah, I think mature is the biggest thing. I was just fresh out of college, feeling myself, having a really successful college career, making it to the Sweet 16. Got knocked down a couple of notches coming into training camp, but I think the best thing that happened was just, it made me, I've always been a hard worker. My work ethic has always been there, but it kind of tapped that into another gear. Being the first one in the gym, last one out. Just knowing that, your first few seasons of WNBA isn't always promised. It's not easy. It can be really tough, and kind of just mentally preparing me for that. I just think the biggest thing outside of maturing, obviously because of my age, but I think my confidence on and off the court has been flourishing the last, 1 to 2 years. Got to go play overseas for a little bit, playing in Athletes Unlimited. So I'm just really excited to be comfortable and confident on the court.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. In an effort to keep things moving, we'll go last question to Tarika Foster. Tarika, go ahead.
Hi, Lexie. How are you? Great. So you've had an opportunity recently to put on your analyst hat a little bit. And then also you mentioned playing in AU, which gives you the perspective from the coaching side of things, as well as the player, just being able to see the game from these various perspectives. How do you think this has helped you to elevate you to where you feel you are now at this point in your career?
Yeah, I definitely feel like a very well-rounded player right now. I think my favorite thing about the ACC Network opportunity is having the time. We have a whole hour-long show dedicated to ACC women's basketball. Just having the opportunity to highlight so many different players. I think that there's, we have a little bit of space in the media. So for us to be able to show some love to so many players, that's been my favorite part. I love being positive and unbiased. It's something that I always would love to see from media members. So kind of being one right now, I've made sure to make that a priority. And then AU, it gave me a new respect for coaches and GMs. But overall, a really fun experience. And it's been really fun to see more players hop on the train, and, especially WNBA players. We get to Dallas next weekend. So we're all really excited, and it's going to be a really fun 6 weeks.
Thanks, Lexie.
Great. Thank you so much, Lexie.
Thanks. Yay.
All righty, everybody, give us 1 second. We are going to bring De'Erica in. Just give me one moment.